Shalom, shalom, shalom. Out there to the hopeful elect of Israel. First off, I'm going to start off and give all honors and infinite praises to YAHAWAH, BaHaShem, YAHAWASHI, BaHaShem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GreatMillstone, who taught us truth and who rule well. Peace and safety and salutations out there to you sincere and you hopeful elect. Scattered abroad across the four winds of this earth. Alright. Alright, my fellow servant, Malakia. Alright, I'm going to come in and do a lesson today. Alright, it's going to be going into lesson going off of, I believe it's here. Alright, it's from the brother Bakwar Amath. Alright, Shalom Mark. Alright, this is his YouTube handle, Bakwar Amath. And it says, this is looking a lot like Rex 84. And when I seen the title and I'm looking at everything that's going on, and I'm just like, damn, you know what? All right, the brother is right. You know? And I start going to a little bit more digging, and I want to go ahead and do a laying back from off this lesson, man, because this was a lesson that I upload. It's not even a lesson. This is a video that I uploaded with 19. You don't say it, so 6 years. All right, 6 years ago. Okay, I uploaded this video and it was by this Dr. Ray Hagins. I don't know if he was a preacher or or whatever he was, but needless to say, he did a video on the King Alfred plan, aka the Rex 84. It says the extermination of blacks in America, and it's not only just the so-called blacks. All right, it's also with the rest of the other different tribes. All right, you so-called blacks, Latinos, Native American Indians. Okay, all right, this devil is waging war, okay, against you, and it's not only you. It's almost, it's gonna have other people as well, within the United States, Americans, but the majority is going to be with you Jakes, man, because this is YAHAWAH BaHaShem YAHAWASHI bringing in, okay, the wrath, okay, upon the tribes, man. All right, this is the time that the scriptures talk about it. Let me get it right quick. I'll come back to that. Okay, because this is the time that we're living in right now. All right, so this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 30. Okay, it reads on. I'm going to start at verse 4. It says, Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 4. It says, and these are the words that the Lord spake concerning Israel and concerning Judah. Okay? All right, the northern and southern tribes. It says, for thus saith the Lord, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. Okay, and this is the time that you're seeing that we are currently in. Okay, it's not a time that we're going to enter into Jacob's trouble. No, we are in Jacob's trouble. Okay, and it's only going to escalate. You see, YAHAWAH BaHaShem YAHAWASHI has had his men on the highways and hedges, okay, doing the different weekly sit-downs, daily videos, all right, to keep giving Jake the warning to let you so-called blacks, Latinos, Native American Indians to turn away from your wicked deeds and to return back to YAHAWAH BaHaShem YAHAWASHI, because we're telling you that what the so-called white man, okay, Esau Edom, is getting ready to come down with their great wrath, and it's all the doing of YAHAWAH BaHaShem YAHAWASHI. He's going to use Esau Edom to come down, okay, upon his people, okay, because y'all have been rebellious. You're seeing all these different videos coming out, TikTok, YouTube, and y'all coming up against the Israelites. You're talking bad about the Israelites. You're talking bad about the Bible. You're talking bad about our Lord and our Savior YAHAWASHI, his men, etc. You don't want to hear it. You just want to be more wicked and wicked. So this is the remedy, okay? That y'all don't see what's really happening, but this is why the Lord has his men out here to prophesy and to tell you the things that's to come. Okay, it's getting to the point to where we're not going to be telling you anymore. Okay, the Lord is quickly about to shut his mouth. Okay, he's going to do that by the way of the prophets. All right, pursuing when you read into the book of Amos chapter 8 verse 11. Okay, so Jeremiah chapter 30 and verse 6. It says, "Ask ye now, and see whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness." Okay, you need to put in the state and look into your mind and be like, what would make a man, all right, to be in this type of state? Okay, his face to be turned into paleness, as if he's frozen off of fear. All right, him holding his loins as a woman in travail. You see, this is the time that we in, and it's only going to increase because you're starting to see small little snippets of it when you're looking at the different videos of what's happened with the northern tribes. Yeah, it's getting ready to come for you blacks, man, you so-called blacks. Okay, yeah, the Lord got something waiting for y'all, man, because y'all the most rebellious, man. Verse 7, it says, "Alas, for that day is great, set so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it." And it's only going to be the elect that's going to be saved out of this trouble, okay, that we are currently in. Okay, Jacob's trouble. Okay, so the ones who's been faithful to YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI, okay, turned away from the evil deeds and seeked after YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI, they're going to be kept safe, man. Okay, but we're going to witness a lot of our people be destroyed. We're going to see a lot of our people to be tortured. Okay, crying, mourning, great lamentation. Okay, and a loss of their peers. We're getting ready to start to see a lot of our brothers and sisters to really, to fall. Okay, but on this side, they're likening unto heathens. So to hell with them, man, because we gave them the warning. So to jump into it, let me go back to this video. Okay, I want to bring that out. So the video that the brother Bakwar Moth brought out, he had said some good points. He went on to the AI overview. He brought out the points. Okay, and I wanted to bring something out too as well, leading on to that, going into the King Alfred plan, and it's also going into these different national emergencies that Trump has been passing, and not only Trump. All right, you had the other different presidents before as well, and when you go into these different national emergencies, all right, it's get to the point to where they're going to be able to unlock certain things within those different executive orders of what they had because of these different national emergencies, and this is one of them. Okay, that we're seeing that's happening right now, dealing with, all right, the immigration status right now with a majority of our people, man. So before I even get into that, I got just a quick one. I didn't get a chance to look at it, but I'm gonna look at it. This is from the brother Shamak, all right, out there in ATL at Atlanta. All right, he did this video about 4 hours ago, but it says ICE. It says tracking housing information to come to your front door. You see, so they're gathering up the information, all right, to gather up a lot of you Americans. Okay, starting off with immigration right now, but eventually it's gonna trickle down to you so-called blacks, man. Y'all think y'all gonna get away? Y'all think it's just only aiming at just the northern tribes? No, it's getting ready to come towards you, you Jakes too, man. You so-called blacks, all right? You so-called Native American Indians. It's getting ready to come after you too as well, and other different what is it? Other different nations that's here too as well. Okay, we're starting to see it. It's only going to increase because we are at a point of this mass deportation. So let me go ahead and get into the video right quick. I got a couple key points I just wanted to just kind of bring out and maybe hit something on, and then for time's sake to kind of fast forward it. So let's go right here, and what's it says 1900 point in 19 minutes. Okay, so I got it kind of written down. So I got it like around here, and then we're just gonna go into the lesson.
And to make it happen. Let me say that one more time. They did not go through the trouble of writing this without a plan to pull it off. The King Alfred Plan, the United States of America King Alfred Plan, codenamed Rex 84. Here's what it says, and I'm going to read quickly. In the event of widespread and continuing and coordinated racial disturbances in the United States, King Alfred, at the discretion of the president, underline that and then look at the person next and say, this is why no black man can be the president. You got to understand, people, this program was written for black people. They ain't gonna, hey, listen, I don't know. What's Secretary of State's name? Colin Powell. I don't know. He seems to be a little disgruntled, but when you got people like that supporting the white agenda, you know, it makes you wonder. They might be able to put somebody who looks black in the Oval Office. It says, at the discretion of the president, King Alfred is to be put into action when? In other words, when the president of the United States, not Congress, not the House, not the Senate, not the House of Representatives, not the Senate, when the president declares this emergency, it's to be implemented immediately. Participating federal agencies, what are?
So, right before I get into that, so before Trump even got into office, I put up an old article. And this is dated back in November 18th, 2024. Okay, so these devils already been telling you what the plan was the whole time. So it says, this is from thefortune.com. It says Trump confirms plan to declare national emergency and use the military for mass deportation. Okay? And this is what we're seeing happening right now. This is what he was confirming his plan, what he was going to do. So I got right here. It says Trump administration torpedoes SCOTUS with emergency requests and sees surprising success. And this is from MSN.com. So I'm just going to read this little snippet right here. Okay, the first two paragraphs. Okay, it says the Supreme Court ended its term last week, but the justices aren't done yet. Partly due to a legal blitz President Donald Trump has strategically deployed in his second term, one that's proven surprisingly effective in advancing his sweeping agenda. It says lawyers for the Trump administration filed their 20th emergency application to the Supreme Court Thursday in just a 23-week period. Okay, so just as long as this devil has been in office, okay, those 23, 24 weeks, however it is now, okay, they have filed 20 emergency applications. So what? They can implement, all right, these different executive orders that he has passed. So I got another one right here. This is from thecentersquare.com. And this was dated back in February 2nd, 2025. And we all know about this. It says Trump declares national emergency at the northern border. Why? About immigration. Let me see if I add a little bit more on here. Let me see. Okay, and this is the narrative that is what they're pushing. So it says President Donald Trump on Saturday declared national emergency at the U.S.-Canadian border because this is what they're trying to do. They're trying to lock down the borders down. They're locking this place down. Let me get that in what that is in let me get this right quick. I believe it's in Luke. Cause this is what's happening. The same thing all over again. The same thing. They're locking Jake in because they about to fucking do their work, man. Okay, they about to do that dirty work, man, because really it's YAHAWASHI putting the spirit on them to do it, man, because Jake has been rebellious. What's that? The capacity on every side, and this is the time around 70 AD. What's that? Luke 19. Damn. Is it 19 or is it 18? Hold on. Murmur. Salakia, give me 1 second. Bear with me. Luke 18. No, it's right here. 19. Here it is. Ooh. Okay. This is the book of Luke 19, starting at verse 41. It says, and when he was come near, he beheld the city and wept over it. And who was that? Okay, it was YAHAWASHI. Okay, and he says, the saying, if thou hadst known, even thou, at least in this day, in this thy day, the things which belong unto thy peace, but now they are hid from thine eyes. So the Lord is telling them, hey man, y'all, you know, your peace was, you had peace at one point. You could have came unto me, but now the Lord, what? It's hid from your eyes. Okay, that's why he was weeping over the city, man, because he knew the destruction that was getting ready to come to Jerusalem. That's why he said, I forgot where it was. I think it's in the Gospels in Matthew, and it says for you to neither take up, to take nothing. Don't go to the rooftops, or basically stay into Jerusalem. It said to what? To go flee into the mountains. He gave them the warning, but they didn't believe YAHAWASHI. Verse 43, it says, for the days shall come upon thee, that thine enemies shall cast a trench about thee, and compass thee round, and keep thee in on every side. So just as the time of what happened in the time of 70 AD, it's the same thing that's happening all over again, but it's going to be much more worse, greater. Verse 44, it says, and shall lay thee even with the ground, and thy children within thee, and they shall not leave in thee one stone upon another, because thou knewest not the time of thy visitation. And that's what's going to happen to a lot of Jake, man. Okay? They didn't know the time of the visitation. They still worrying about how to get the fucking bag right now. They still thinking about traveling. They still talking about generational wealth. All right? They scoffing and saying they're not an Israelite no more. They don't know the time that we living in right now. So the enemy right now has compassed thee. They have compassed, all right, the U.S., man, and this is where the bulk of the majority of Israelites are. Okay, they're locking down the borders. Okay, they got declared a national emergency. They got the tanks and everything here, man. They got the we're gonna get more into it, man. Okay, into this King Alfred plan, because this is what's happening. Okay, now these so-called we're gonna get into it. I don't even want to jump ahead. But basically, Jake is compassed, bro, around inside, okay, the enemy's territory, man. So now the enemy can do whatever he want, because now he's locking down, okay, the borders, okay, to where Jake ain't gonna be able to go nowhere. Okay, and this is where we at. You see right here, ICE, they got the landlords to turn in over leases now. This is gonna be through where all Jake at soon, and it's coming. So yeah, this really is looking a lot more like Rex 84. Okay, so let's go ahead a little bit more into it.
National Security Council. What else?
Wait, it's a lot. Let me see. Did I finish that one? Oh, well, this is another one from Reuters. Let me finish up these right quick. It says Trump launches sweeping border crackdown. Come on, man. It says Trump launches sweeping border crackdown, mass deportation push. And this is what? January 21st. So you people acting all surprised that Trump is doing all this. He's telling you that he was putting up the border czar and all this shit. They told you what was coming in January. So summer says Trump declares illegal immigration a national security. It says Biden era legal entry app ends abruptly. Civil rights group challenges move to restrict birthright citizenship, and that's what he's doing. He's taking away people's citizenship, okay, to where there are illegal in the country, and they can do whatever they want with them. And this is what we're seeing. All right, Jake getting caught up into these different concentration camps and there's nowhere for them to be able to get out. Come on, man. You got U.S. citizens here in Alligator Alcatraz, and they not getting out. This is a part of the plan. So let's go back to it.
Central Intelligence Agency, Federal Bureau of Investigation, Department of Justice, Department of Defense, Department of Interior, participating state agencies, what are they? National Guard units, state police, participating local agencies are what? City police.
So, we don't see none of this happening right now? We don't see any of this stuff happening right now. This is what they're calling in. The different agencies.
The county police, that's right. Now, one of the things you need to understand, brothers, let me make this notation before we read further. In addition to the law enforcement agencies that we just mentioned, in 1982, there was a guy named Oliver North. Y'all heard of him, right? Oliver North and Ronald Reagan got together, and the two of them amended the King Alfred Plan. And their amendment became known as Rex 84 because it was signed by Ronald Reagan in 1984. Now, the original plan was signed by Lyndon Baines Johnson, but Ronald Reagan amended it to include the Hispanic population. Originally, it was, what we're going to read, it was just written for blacks. But in 1984, Oliver North and Ronald Reagan amended it to include the Hispanic and Latino population.
All right. And that's what we see. Okay? The different inner workings of Esau Edom. Okay? This is what we seeing that's happening right now. Okay? So, you tribes, man. Since y'all didn't want to repent and come back to YAHAWASHI, he's made a way to where all you're going to be in cahoots all together. And right now, the judgment is happening unto the northern tribes. Soon it's getting ready to trickle down onto the southern tribes.
What's really deep, brothers and sisters, is this. The neo-Nazi groups. This is all a part of the amendment in 1984.
Yep. So as they were doing different amendments, okay, to broaden up the, how can I say it? Basically, the Rex 84 plan to upgrade it, they've included different groups. And how much more of those different groups that we see today? He's getting ready to name a couple of them.
The neo-Nazi groups in Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi, along with state militia groups like the Missouri militia, the Michigan militia, the Minnesota militia, all of these white paramilitary groups that have their training grounds out in the woods and stuff that y'all, I'm sure y'all know about that, right? I hope you know about that.
Yeah, because they out there, they've been training. They've been training for years. You know, they haven't stopped because they're getting themselves prepped up and ready, okay, for the big move when they come in and to come after you, Jakes. This is what we're talking about when we read Jeremiah chapter 30. When we read, we can get it. Revelation 2 and 10, 2 Ezra 16. You know, this is what we're coming to. We're coming to these times. It ain't gonna be no more playing and saying that you're not an Israelite no more. It ain't gonna matter. You're gonna get caught up because the plans are to come after you, Jakes.
Well, the amendment in 1984 was written to include them automatically being deputized when the president declares the emergency.
Ooh. So now, as we're seeing the national emergency, all right, as I had done went into it up here. Come on, is it this video? Oh shit, I forgot to bring that one out too. Well, if it come back, I'll bring it out. But as you see, as the national emergency has been implemented, those ICE workers, so-called ICE workers, hold on, Come on, man. Those so-called ICE workers, are you sure those are actual ICE agents? Or are those different militia groups, okay, that have been that have been signed up, okay, automatically as he was going into. Let me go back a little bit.
Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi, along with state militia groups like the Missouri militia, the Michigan militia, the Minnesota militia, all of these white paramilitary groups that have their training grounds out in the woods and stuff that y'all, I'm sure y'all know about that, right? I hope you know about that. Well, the amendment in 1984 was written to include them automatically being deputized when the president declares the emergency.
And they're automatically deputized. You see? So this thing is actually moving, man.
All of these other groups will be deputized by the federal government to round up blacks and Hispanics for encampment.
For what? For encampment. What do we see that's happening right now? Just as the brother in his title, this is looking a lot like Rex 84, man. You see? You can't defute the documents. You can't defute the files. You can't defute the different national emergencies, the things of what ICE is doing. All right, the different detention center camps. Okay, none of that. So let me just play this quick video that I did. What was this? Okay, this was 5 days ago. I said America's state of emergency to totalitarianism. Okay, so let me see if I can get to the point of what I even clicked on the video for. Oh, I think it was like around like 14 minutes. Let me just play this part because it was going into the national emergencies too. So they've been activated.
Coming after, man. So, let me play this video right quick.
Did you know that right now in America there are 49 national emergencies? Yep, 49 active national emergencies on the books, letting the government run away with immense power. I'm not making this up.
This evening, the president declared a national emergency at the southern border.
President Joe Biden has approved an emergency declaration for North Carolina.
President Barack Obama has declared swine flu a national emergency.
I implemented our government's emergency response plans. Our military is powerful, and it's prepared.
And you see, right before I even start the video even more, you see how many different national emergencies have been declared? And it's all to undermine the Constitution, man. All right? And all you jakes, you trust in oppression, man. You trust in this system. And this system is telling you that, hey, man, it was never a system in the first place, man.
America never voted for this. You were never told about it. There was no debate, no tanks in the streets, no soldiers at your door. But in 1933, the Constitution of the United States was quietly hijacked, not with bullets, but with pens, executive orders.
With pens.
And you see, and that's what we're seeing. This is how this devil works, man. Let me see that. What's that? Micah. Get there right quick. This is the book of Micah, chapter 12. No. Well, this is one, but the other one's in Isaiah. That's what it was. This is Micah 2:1. It says, "Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand." You see, it's in the power of the hand of Esau. Okay, this is what he's always done. Okay, especially here in America. Okay, the USA. Okay, they have the power to do, okay, the things of what they want to do in the past, and really ultimately goes to these elites. Okay, they got the power because the scripture says, you know, it's that Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. Okay, so it's in their hand to practice whatever they want. because the real goal is to get rid of the Israelites. Verse 2, and they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. That's what we're seeing that's going on right now. He's taking over their lands. He's taking over their houses. He's taking them by violence. He's taking away their houses, their wives, their children, and they oppress them. Put them in cages, put them in detention centers, and don't give them no rights. This is what the elite's doing, okay? And they do it, all right, through their different sub-agencies that they have, man. Okay, here in America, the U.S. of A. All right, so this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 10. Straight to the point, verse 1. It says, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed. And these are the laws that that these Edomites passed, man. Okay, especially dealing with this Rex 84. You got Operation Pogo, you got Operation Cypher, Operation Cable Splice. You got it's so many. Okay, it's so many. And now we're at the point to where those things that would have been written from a long time ago, these things are being played out. Operation Cypher is in effect right now. You've been tagged, all right? You've been traced, okay? And then you've been ID'd. Now the next thing is when they start to build up the different concentration camps, they're going to put the American citizens in by large numbers. And who was that talking to? It was talking about you so-called blacks, Latinos, Native American Indians. They coming after you. All those who come on these different videos that click on thinking that this is a game, guess what? You've been tracked. You've been tagged. They already got your ID. They got your IP address. They got your YouTube. They know your mom. They know your dad. They know where you work. They know everything about you. Everything is already written. You see? Jake keep playing. So now let's jump to what's this? 28. Is it 55? Kind of speed through this a little bit. So here's another one.
1984 to also include Hispanics now and white sympathizers. Minority members will be evacuated from the cities by federalized National Guard units, local and state police, and if necessary, by regular units of the armed forces using public and military transportation. Read it now. What does it say? And detained in nearby military installations until a further course of action has been decided. Brothers and sisters.
And that's what they're doing right now. Until another course of action have been decided. Okay, so we're in the point of them figuring things out, man, because they're getting ready to come down. Okay, Esau's getting ready to come down. You know, they're getting things ready by the airstrip. Okay, what's that? By over there by Alligator Alcatraz, they build it up in 8 days. All right, you already got these different off sites that's just been dormant, but they're ready to be active because now it's a national emergency. What's that? The documentary with Linda Thompson. I think America Under Siege. Okay, they got these different black sites ready, man. Ready to put these people in. And really, it's you Jakes, man, because y'all are the majority here.
In case y'all did not know.
Now let's jump to 28,
South
48.
Central.
It's a lot. Damn, you're right. All right, somewhere around here.
88, George Bush Sr. signed a document, an order proposing that military bases be turned into prisons.
And what we seeing? Okay, there's a part over here by Alligator Alcatraz. It's within an area of a military base. Okay, and I believe Alligator Alcatraz was an old military base. With the actual what's that? The landing. Damn, what is it called? The airstrip. Okay. I believe that was one. Okay, that's why they're able to build it upon Alligator Alcatraz. It's right off an actual landing airstrip for planes. All right, for the military planes, and I believe it's what miles away from it. There's another one that they said they're trying to build, and you have different ones across the different parts of the U.S. that these different states saying they will build, and it's going to be around what military bases. Okay, old abandoned places. Okay, so Rex 84 is playing out right now. So what is this? 29, 57. Let's say what to 30. So that don't really matter. So let me jump to the next one. You know, I'm just trying to do it for time's sake. What's that? 41. Cause it's a good one. It's a good one. I'm gonna put it into the description box. Let's see. So somewhere around here.
Let's go on to the next memo because I'm running way out of time. From the
hold on.
The law has been written. Uh-oh. You mean Maxine Waters? She's the sister who speaks out for us. And the law has been written that when the president declares this emergency, so what, Maxine? You just another Nigger. Conyers, you just another Nigger. When the president decides that y'all gotta go, all of y'all out of here. That's the law, people, signed by the president of the United States. Let's go on.
And that's what they're doing, okay? Because it's signed by the president of the United States that when he's able to push these different executive orders, these different national emergencies, that's going to go through because he got what? The Republicans in there to be able to pass these different certain bills, just as we just seen the big beautiful bill that just got passed that just gave funding over to basically to help to help ICE, the military, okay, the National Guard, all right, to militarize the police. They've got a lot of funding, and a lot of that funding is to build a lot more detention centers, man, for you jakes. All right, because they're getting ready to push in this this NWO, man, because everything is lining up, man. The chip, everything is lining up, man. So the next thing is to get the people on board, man, for this new system, and to really to take away a lot of the citizens, man, because this goes into the Georgia Guidestones. So now let me jump to what's this, 48. Just getting some good points, and I got one more point after this, and then we can get ready to close out.
8 hours begins at the moment the president determines the emergency to be national.
Oh, let me go back a little bit.
Number one, local police and minority leaders in action to head off the emergency. In other words, those hand-picked leaders by the president, first thing they do, they send them in, try to get black folk to stand down. You know, now don't try to go in and tell them, don't tell them you came in there to stop them. Go on and let them march a couple of blocks. Yeah, let them march a couple of blocks. Let them sit down on the highway for 20 minutes. But then cause them to stand down. Lead them into the paddy wagons. Or talk to them and say, all right, y'all, it's time for us to go now. 2, countdown to 8 hours begins at the moment the president determines the emergency to be national.
See? And now that countdown has already begun.
Coordinated, and it's going to last a while. 3, county police join local police. That's the 7th hour. 6th hour, state police join county and local police. 5th hour, federal marshals join state, county, and local forces. 4th hour, National Guard units are federalized and held in readiness. Now, down to the 3rd hour now.
See, the National Guard is already held in readiness, man. Did not the National Guard just here for a couple more, they were here, what, a couple weeks since he has deployed them? Come on, man. He's deployed, okay, the National Guard. And I seen an article yesterday and it said that that they were sending, that Trump is sending the National Guard troops back. But that's a lie. because they've been deployed underneath national emergency. So I mean, the national emergency just somewhat just disappeared. Nah, they're still here, even if that was so.
Regular armed forces alerted, take up position. Now notice this, highlight this part. Minority troops divided and detained. Y'all see this? In other words, yeah, you in the Army, you in the Marines, with your M16. But when the president declares an emergency, we're going to take your M16 from you, even though you done went and got almost gave your life for this country. When the president declares an emergency, it's time to round up all these black folk and put them in some of these storage facilities until we decide what we're going to do with them.
Yeah, because a bunch of warehouses that's being built now, bunch of you know, like he's going to different storage facilities. Come on, man. You know, you got to be completely blind to not see the things that's actually happening right now in real time. But that's the spirit the Lord gave unto our people, man. All right, because they knew not the day of their visitation.
Y'all, why you think they building all these storage facilities? Y'all ain't got that much stuff to put in storage. Come on, y'all. Think. Storage facilities with running water. What boxes need with running water? Minority troops divided and detained along with all white sympathizers under guard down to the second hour. All minority leaders, national and local, detained. Why is it that they want to detain the leaders?
Oh yeah, and I gotta jump down to 51. I'll go to 51.
However, that was almost 20 years ago. And remember, this was done in 64. 20 years before 64 is 44. 1944, 1943, 1944, that's when the Holocaust took place, y'all, in Nazi Germany. And what happened was the furnaces that Hitler used to burn these people weren't hot enough. So when they start throwing the bodies in the furnaces, the bodies weren't burning up fast enough, and it caused the furnaces to get clogged up. So notice what this report says. We suggest that vaporization techniques be employed to overcome the production problems inherent in King Alfred.
All right, and it was been a couple TikTok videos been going out that they have people have gotten contracts to go to these different concentration centers, such as, you know, Exhibit A, Alligator Alcatraz, okay, and they were going there so that they can have incinerators, okay, to be put down there. They got a contract to go put incinerators there, okay, and that's what they're getting ready to do with Jake, man. They're getting ready to incinerate Jake, throw him into there to dispose of the bodies. They're gonna put them into the different zones, such as out there in Alligator Alcatraz. Okay, they're gonna be dropping them off there into the different ponds and the alligators to eat up them. All right, the men, women, children, the elderly, don't matter. Okay, probably on the flights there, they're gonna be dumping Jake out there in the ocean. They're gonna be dying because of the high altitude. They're gonna suffocate before they even hit the water. You see, these are the devils that we're working with, man. Okay, they're coming with all different they're getting ready to come with everything, man. Okay, to destroy Jake. Okay, and we ain't seen nothing yet. It's only going to increase. It's only going to increase.
So notice what this report says. We suggest that vaporization techniques be employed to overcome the production problems inherent in King Alfred. What does that mean? Well, as a result of the recommendation, they began to build what we call high volume or nuclear-powered trash incinerators. And these incinerators burn 5,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Y'all listen, steel, depending on the kind of steel it is, melts between 2,600 and 2,700 degrees. Now, steel will melt at that temperature. Why do you need a incinerator that burns 5,000 degrees? So that the furnaces don't get clogged up again. When they take those people who they detain and gas them, put them to sleep, Lord have mercy, put them on these conveyor belts that roll into this furnace, as soon as they get in there, poof.
No trace. No trace. And we're gonna leave it right there with that video, because hey, that's the devil, man. That's what Esau Edom is coming to do, man. To leave Jake to have no trace. Alright? The scripture says he's gonna come in like a madman, sparing none. Okay? What's the part of the New World Order? Expect no mercy. Alright? Expect no mercy. I'm gonna finish off with this. Alright, so this is the book of Revelation, chapter 2, verse 10. It reads, it says, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil, alright, the adversary, Esau Edom, okay, shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried. Okay, it's going to be certain brothers that may be allotted to go into these different concentration camps. Okay, and they may have, you know, who knows, they may have to suffer, or the Lord may have it to where they be delivered. Okay, but if that be the lot, you know, pray to YAHAWASHI, speak to myself first and foremost, that you're able to finish out your lot. Okay, and that this world means nothing. All right, that it was already written. It's just the Lord's not going to put nothing much more than what you can bear. So just know that if you be thrown into these prisons, that it may be a possibility that you may not come out. Okay, but it reads on. It says, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Okay, it's for an allotted amount of time. All right, a number of days. It says, be thou faithful unto death. Okay, going into exhortation and encouragement. Be faithful unto death. Okay, and scripture says, and I will give thee a crown of life. Okay, so whatever entails with that being so, all right, if that happened to be my lot or any other brother's lot, pray to YAHAWASHI that you're able to finish out the lot that YAHAWASHI has given unto you, man. Because this is what's getting ready to come. We're getting ready to start to see a lot of us, okay, you know, all of Israel. Some of us will be thrown into these different prisons, man. All right, that Esau Edom has already signed up, man. I mean, not signed up, but he has signed up on his different executive orders and shit. But needless to say, you know, some of us will be thrown into prisons, okay, and we will see a lot of things happen unto our people. You know, that's going to be a witness, okay, against Esau Edom of the different things of what he is doing while those different concentration camps will be up, man. So just know that it could be a lot that you go into there and never come out, or YAHAWASHI, Lord willing, he put the spirit on you to have that spiritual power to break up out of there, okay, and to deliver others as well. Okay, but the different things of what's written and being planned down the pipeline. Okay, Esau Edom dealing with this King Alfred plan, this Rex 84, all the different agendas that he have. Okay, he is gonna push them to happen. Okay, so this is just backing up the brother Bakwara Moth, just based off this video, hitting a couple key points. You know, Salakia, the video is a little bit too long. I just wanted to get a couple key points going into the national emergencies, because hey, man, they've already been declared a national emergency, and these things that we're seeing that's playing out right now is actually happening. And this is what we've been talking about all these years, and now, hey, it's into fruition. Okay, so the only thing we can do is just to stand and stand firm. Okay, and YAHAWASHI. All right, so hey, Lord willing, you was edified from all this lesson. I want to give all honors and infinite praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, YAHAWASHI, Bahashim Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who taught us truth and who rule well. Peace and safety and salutations that they're to you sincere and you hopeful elect, scattered abroad across the four winds of this earth. All right, my fellow servant, Malaakia, Shalom.